Once more, your hearts welcome back to the program. If you are joining us, the program on air is Press Brief, and on this program, we zoom into the various newspapers in Cameroon and around the continent of Africa. We start off with the first paper for today. Municipal update of Victor Cham for this morning says Southwest Kumbai Kondo Titi Road works on paths to reboot economic growth. That's a lead story you can find on the municipal update for today. Ndonga Mantung SDO hails Camtel GM. That is Judith Chili Sunday for promoting peace, social cohesion, and living together all across the Unga Mantung division of the Northwest region. Yes, Cameroon engages stakeholders to boost financial inclusion. We move on to the next publication for this morning. Cameroon Tribune for today talks of water supply in Yaoundé and her environs. That is what you can find on Cameroon Tribune newspaper for this day. That's a publication. Voters registration final rush by the different Cameroonians who are going to get their names registered on Elecam's list, as the electoral calendar will be closed for by the end of August. That is the 31st day of August 2024. Grand Prix Chantal Bia race modality explains to public by officials of that set cyclist tour and Paris Para-Olympic tournament to kickstart in the French capital city of Paris. We move on to this other story, intoxication. It talks of 6 members of a family discovered dead after consuming a food item that has to do with a substandard substance. Get read details on that paper for today. Quotidian emissions for this morning report on the east and west regions of the country with the incursion of trafficking in human bones that is highly predominantly in these 2 regions of the nation, Cameroon and the Mora Kuseri road. Heavy duty trucks has been banned from circulating along the Mora Kuseri stretch of road. And human interest story, 6 persons of the same family discovered dead after consuming a food item that has to do with substandard use of a substance. And we move on to Cameroon. Namibia encountered the Rumda Jazz Stadium in Yaoundé, in Rumda Jazz Stadium in Garoua. The paper talks of Eunice dodges the war of Fika food. Gets read details on that paper for today. Mutation newspaper reports of this the Wahala in Dimako. They say strategy in Dimako, a locality in the littoral region of the country. Back to school 2024-2025. The paper talks of books that has had a reduction in the price cost. Get to read details on that paper of Mutation for today. My hospital for this morning talks of the International Vaccination Center of Betwai. Is a health facility that is welcoming many users. Get to read details on that paper of My Hospital for this day. In Daset My Hospital, the Gynaco Obstetric Hospital in Douala, the paper reports of children that are the major preoccupation of that health facility. You want to find more on that paper on page 9 on My Hospital newspaper for today. Le Unité for this morning talks of the efficiency saluted by the Minister of Public Works Emmanuel Nganou Jumisi as he visited some major road construction projects that are unfolding in Cameroon. You can find details on Le Unité newspaper for today. La Republic for this morning have a similar caption to that of Le Unité. Talks of the public works in Cameroon. It says the process of quality of roads network in the country, as Emmanuel Nganou Jumisi, Minister of Public Works, appreciates the various work constructions that are unfolding in Cameroon. And Claire and Romeo and Villa, it talks of the mode of marriage. You can find more on that said paper as the paper celebrates that powerful couple for today. Moving on to Lujo for this morning talks of back to school 2024-2025. It says up to 25% reduction of prices of books and other stationeries has been witnessed all across Cameroon, according to Lujo of Amana. For today, environment, the paper reports on the carbon rates in the country. Bodybuilding exercise, two persons who takes bodybuilding exercise as a passion. That is Kevin and Anobo and Christian Sanga, who the paper celebrates for today when it comes to the best of the best of bodybuilding experts in the country. Moving on to Nigeria with the nation. The nation for this day talks of CDS COA's military wants to give in to anti-democratic calls, and Edo gubernatorial election, INEC to conduct mock accreditation. We move on to government joining forces with foreign nations to better off the lives of Nigerians. The Punch for this day talks of fight of fancy. Governor slam for wasting 160 billion naira on viable airports. You can find more on that paper for today. Lagos Calabar Highway demolition. 100 landowners team up for fresh legal war against federal government of Nigeria. External auditors to examine NPCL as 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim resurfaces. Sweet Crow for this morning talks of Nigeria injects 2.5 billion naira into mining sector, reviews license. We move on to 28 plants generates 1,915 megawatts of electricity in the month of July in Nigeria. Ondo completes 783 million US dollars acquisition of any subsidy and NOC. New Telegraph for this morning talks of can Sultan seek end to bloodshed abduction in Nigeria. That is what you can find on New Telegraph for today. And regarding the seizure of Nigerian aircraft by the Chinese, the paper talks of how the Chinese President Xi Jinping will be meeting his Nigerian counterpart Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Moving forward with hardship, it talks of why we won't consider coup by military. You can find more on that paper for today. The Guardian for this morning talks of $48 per barrel production cost drowns 60% of Nigerian oil earnings, according to the Guardian for today. 900 days on CDHR tax. It talks of Sanwo-Olu on justice for late Bansi. We move forward with food insecurity. Federal government banks on dry season farming on floods devastating northeastern part of Nigeria. Residents of River State community flee as oil spill continue. Nigerian News Direct for this day talks of federal government must implement stronger reforms to record economic growth, according to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. We move on to another nationwide protest imminent as organizers issue 17-point demand to the Tinubu-led administration of federal government. Reps to pass on legislation on electricity theft. Get to read more on page 7. US AIDS donates to 10,000 vaccine doses to Nigeria to tackle the monkeypox epidemic in Nigeria. Daily Independent for this morning. Nigeria moves to avoid international economic penalties. Restrictive measures put in place by the Tinubu-led administration. 2 years after commissioning the Ikiti 200 billion naira airports yet to take off. And Labour Party rejects Governor Otis' loan move to convey the neck of Labour Party. We take you now to the Guardian Post from Cameroon. The Guardian Post for this morning reports on the to boost schooling. It says the Forminion Foundation schools over 100 Anglophone IDPs in the city of Yaoundé. Get to read more on that said paper for today. Malumba Seme uses football to journey boost voters registration and living together in Boya. And Ba Acha Rose for Mundam congratulates the Ngi population to embrace peace and boost schooling in Ngi subdivision. All of more motivation of the northwest region of the country. And we take you to the editorial of the Guardian Post for this day. It talks of when criminals in military uniform bleeds treasury. That is what you can read on the editorial of the Guardian Post on page 4 for this day. From the Guardian Post, we move forward to Boya with volcanic times of Charles Mbola. It talks of Nawiwi Holiday Football Jamboree in Boya. 1,000 gathers as Malumba Seme pushes for social cohesion, and Moyoka Miskuda donates didactic materials. Awards of excellence Excellence urges community to support education in Moyoka of the Southwest region. Moving on to a Kotu Parliament report on the YCPDM National President joins Malomba to inspire Boya youth during the Nawiwi football finals, according to Echo du Parlement. From Echo du Parlement newspaper, we crossed on to the next paper for this morning. That is Le Pelican. Le Pelican from Yaoundé talks of at the helm of ENAM. Just to reiterate, he is the Director General of the prestigious National School of Magistracy and Public Administration. ENAM. Get to read more on the gentleman there on that paper of the Pelican newspaper for today. From the Pelican newspaper, we cross over to Nouvelle Horizon for this morning. It talks of the Gendarmerie Force, a force of protection. Get to read more on that said paper for today. And PNDP, the development plan, talks of the new era for local development in certain parts of Cameroon. Away from that publication, we crossed over to the paper of the Eagle's Eyes. The Eagle's Eyes talks of promoting living together. Wuta celebrating heritage with unity, and you can find more on that Parliamentary Action newspaper of the Eagle's Eyes for today. From the Eagle's Eyes, we take you now to Le Chapeau. Le Chapeau of Carrot and Bar for this morning talks of decentralization, the exaltive opening of PNDP. You can find more on that said paper for today. And bamboo and rattan sector, the paper talks of the artisanal Cameroonians who needs to embrace the bamboo and rattan sector as an engine for economic growth and progress in Cameroon. You can find more on Le Chapeau or newspaper of Carrot Samba. La Republic newspaper for today talks of public works in Cameroon. The paper talks of the process of quality roads network by the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Ngannou Jumisi. Away from that publication, we take you to the next paper, the health paper, Quotidien Eco Santé for today. Talks of Dr. Faustin Herbert Ngule. He is the new director, the regional director of the World Health Organization for the African continent. You can find more on his profile on the paper Quotidien Eco Santé for today. Flood in Chad. The paper talks of the the Cameroonian head of state who comes out with his solidarity fund to the Chadian population. Get to read more on that said paper of Paul Biya. Away from that story, we move forward with the international tabloid. We start off with the first for today. The Daily Telegraph for this morning talks of Starmer's tax alert for Middle England. You can find more on the British Prime Minister tax alert in the English Republic and meets the 21 best dressed stars of the summer season. You get to read details on that paper for today. The women behind the overseas reunion, you can find more on them on that publication for this morning. Daily Mail for this day. The Daily Mail for this day says after repeatedly denying tax rise by election, finally Starmer comes to clean. He will soak middle class. Get to read more on that British Prime Minister, and that is run 30 desert marathon in 30 days. Get to read details on the Daily Mail for today. Financial Times for this morning report on Starmer starts the stage for tax rise by warning budget is going to be painful, according to the UK Prime Minister. We move on to laws making fintech canal to set half workforce by harnessing gains from artificial intelligence. Newspaper for this morning talks of summer plans for softer Brexit starts in Germany today, and HNS workers, this is health workers in the UK, whistleblowers stay care, watchdogs failure to risk public. Get to read more on that paper for today. Metro for this day talks of fans to go crazy as Oasis reunion confirms stars align, the wait is over, according to Metro newspaper from the UK for this day. We come back to Cameroon with one of the last publications for today. That is the paper for today, Ngorolo. It talks of back to school and PCA levy in the school sector. Get to read more on that situation for today on that publication for this morning. We move on to the Minister of Finance, Louis Paul Motaze, who is envisaging for a revamping of the fiscal year for 2025 in the country. What are some of the propositions that the Minister of Finance is envisaging? Get to read more on that publication of for today. We wrap up the program for this morning with the last publication for this day. That is the paper of Nouvelle Horizon talks of the gendarmerie being a force of protection in the nation, following the great mobilization and sensitization of road use in order to curb on the increasing rate of road accident and other banditry and criminality acts that are being perpetrated by some uncivil Cameroonians in the nation. With Nouvelle Horizon, this is what concludes today's news, today's program for today. That is